Am I the a-hole for refusing to trade Halloween for Diwali for my children? The children involved are 3 and 4. Born in Canada, so far raised without any religious influence, but neither parent is opposed to it. The father, let's call him Dave, and I have been separated since January 2021. Co-parenting has been rocky at best. The relationship was riddled with emotional abuse. IMO Dave is a textbook narcissist. Having finally settled in court, this is the first year that a custody agreement will dictate the division of holidays, alternating each year. This year, I am entitled to Halloween with our children. Please keep in mind that I have no knowledge of what a Diwali celebration entails and am going only on what Dave has informed me will take place. Forgive my ignorance or incorrect terms. Additional info on Diwali celebrations are welcome. Dave approached me this morning to ask if I would trade years for Halloween. He would take the children this year and I would have them next. Dave explained that Diwali falls on Halloween this year and that his girlfriend is celebrating. He stated that the children had been invited by her family to join in the celebrations. Dave stated that the children would be picked up from school, travel 20 minutes to their home where they will have dinner, do puja number 1 at 5:10 p.m., travel 1 hour to GF's family home, do puja number 2, have a snack, trick or treat, and go to bed. They would then stay overnight at the GF's family's home to continue the Diwali celebration the following day. Both October 31st and November 1st are my parenting days. Dave has not directly asked to have the children for Friday, but in stating that they will sleep over and the celebration continues, it is presumed. I am of the opinion that it is great for the children to experience other cultures and religions and welcome their participation in Diwali. However, the children loved Halloween last year and haven't stopped talking about it since. They picked out their costumes in August and told anyone who would listen what they would be. I feel that the travel and additional celebrations may make for a very rushed and tiring Halloween. I don't know how long puja lasts, but the timeline does not appear to allow for much time to trick or treat. I do not want their Halloween experience compromised when they ask again for another full year. I have offered a solution to Dave that the kids would trick or treat as usual, but could spend Friday with the GF's family to celebrate Diwali. I also offered to drive the children the 1 hour to their family home, knowing that they would already be there and celebrating. This way, the children could experience both Halloween and Diwali. Dave seems to think that I am trying to control his parenting, and it should be a simple trade for Halloween this year for next. I feel that it is not simply trade for this year and next, because the children may miss out on the Halloween experience as a result of the switch. Am I the a-hole? Next story. Am I the a-hole for disagreeing with my wife's idea of her never learning how to cook? My wife, 24, and I, 26-year-old female, are struggling in our marriage as she believes she does not need to help cook or prepare food, or even help clean up after, besides dishes. She was raised in a family with no chores, and they had a maid come clean the house. She has never learned to cook and cannot boil water despite me walking her through it. She just loses patience. I love my wife and have taken time out of our evenings to show her how to cook and measure spices, for example. She lasts about 2 minutes before either walking away or throwing a tantrum that she doesn't want to learn, and I should be the only one in this house who has to know how to cook. The other night, I got home from work and was exhausted since it had been a busy week in healthcare. She complained she had not spent enough time with me these past few days, so I offered to have her cook with me so she could learn while also spending time together. I thought it would be cute to make a recipe together that we never ate before. She threw a fit and said she just wanted to just TV, but eventually agreed to sit in the kitchen with me. About 10 minutes in, I asked her to wash a grill rack since she usually does the dishes when I cook. Surprise, she threw a tantrum. Eventually, she did it because she was hungry, and I was busy cooking 3 different parts of the dinner. A few minutes later, I had to go outside to grill some chicken, and I asked if she could start putting some spices away, so I would have less cleanup. I think you know what happened next. She eventually stopped yelling and complaining and put some stuff away. I gave her plate of food first to enjoy since I still had some cleaning up to do. I talked to some friends about it, and they said if it was their significant other who never cooked, they would eventually say they had to prepare their own meals if they would not help. I have mentioned in the past she should learn to cook on her own for numerous reasons, one being that she is a very picky eater, so anything I do cook, I have to prepare differently and separately. I'm also the one who does the handyman duties as well as takes care of all the bills and yard work. I do have to give credit where credit is due and mention that she does the dishes and puts the laundry away. Am I the a-hole for wanting her to learn how to cook and, or at least help in preparing the kitchen? Next story. Am I the a-hole for calling my wife out for never doing the hard chores? My wife, 40F, and I, 39M, have been married for 7 years and have 2 kids, 4 and 2. We both work full-time but have different schedules. I work a standard Monday to Friday 40-hour week. My wife's job requires her to work Saturdays, so she takes random days off during the week to compensate. Both of our kids are in daycare during the week. When my wife takes a day off during the week, she will get chores done like cleaning, shopping, laundry, etc. It is great that she can get that stuff done on her off days. But these are things that can also be done on the weekend. She will leave other, more labor-intensive chores for me to do on the weekend. We have a 1-acre yard, so there is always yard work to be done. And it is nearly impossible for me to do that kind of work on Saturdays when she's at work and I have the kids. I've talked to her numerous times about doing yard work on her days off when I'm at work and the kids are in daycare. But she refuses because it's too hard. Which, yeah, I know. I'm the only one who does it. It's even harder when you're chasing around 2 kids. This means that I have to spend pretty much my entire Sunday doing yard work. Every single week. We've argued because she gets work and a kid-free day to herself to get things done. But she picks the easiest chores and leaves the hard ones for me to do on my one remaining weekend day. I work Monday to Friday, then have the kids by myself all day Saturday. I just want to spend some time on Sunday watching football and relaxing, but I can't because of the yard work. This past week, my wife took Thursday off and got some chores done. When I got home with the kids that night, she made some comments that pissed me off. She kept saying, "We still need to mow the lawn this weekend," We need to trim some bushes and trees and bring the brush to the yardway site. I think we should rake up all the fallen pine needles and pine cones to use as fire starters. I snapped at her and asked her which of those things she was going to do since she kept saying we. She got defensive and said that she was going to be watching the kids so that I could get that stuff done. I told her that I think she is using the word we incorrectly then because it sounds like I'm going to be the one doing all of it. She then went off about all the things she got done on her day off. When I told her that I could do all of those things on Saturday, even with the kids, she refused to do any of the hard stuff. I then asked her if she could tell me the last day she had the kids by herself when I wasn't home. She couldn't answer and called me a jerk. I told her if I can learn to fold a fitted sheet, then she can learn how to use a rake, a lawnmower, a weed whip, etc. I also told her that I am going to start planning things for myself on weekends so that I have my own time, even if it means hiring a sitter. She thinks I'm overreacting and expecting too much of her because the yard work is hard. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not helping out when I was a guest at my in-laws? So I have this theory, maybe faulty, that when one hosts a dinner party, the host does everything and guests relax. Whenever I have guests over, I don't want them helping me set the table or doing the dishes. I want them to have fun and drinking and enjoying. I was recently at my in-laws. My father-in-law cooked up a storm and was frantically running in and out of the kitchen with various dishes, etc. I ate, took my plate to the kitchen, and rinsed it off. Then I saw my father-in-law sitting watching the game on TV, so I sat with him and chatted, sipping wine. When we got home, my husband was really upset I did not help his mom bring out the dishes or clean up after dinner. I was surprised and said I am the guest. When she is over at our house, I don't ask her. He said, but she always offers. You should have offered. I said, but I don't feel like doing housework when I am a guest at someone's house. I don't really like cooking and usually order takeout when I have guests. My husband said, this is not some stranger. This is family. You didn't see how tired my mom was? Everyone was helping and you just sat there and drank like a spoiled princess. He likes to bring that up because I am an only child and maybe I am a little spoiled. When I brought up his father and how the father was not helping, he got even angrier. So I don't know, maybe I am in the wrong here. But I don't want to be handling dishes and stuff when I am tipsy. Ages for those who are interested. My husband 45F, 45M, mother and father-in-law both 70. EDIT. People asking me if my husband helped. Yes, he did, but he just needed to carry plates from the table to the kitchen. Women were expected to help prep the food and I am not great at cutting food or cooking. Update, thanks for the comments. I am a bit spoiled and a bit of a princess now that I realize. Can I offer to help but put up boundaries? Like I don't like prepping food. I can carry stuff too, and from the kitchen. One time my mill asked me to cut vegetables, and it was very difficult. I could hear she was getting a little frustrated and said, it's okay, I will do it myself. Update number 2. Part of the reason for me posting this is that I got invited over to their house yesterday for a holiday, and I wanted to see how to act. Because everyone labeled me an a-hole, I made sure to ask and offer to help out. But my father-in-law said she didn't need any help and said I didn't need to be in the kitchen. Plus she had at least 4 people in the kitchen helping her. And my son was helping her make some fancy beef Wellington thingy. So I guess whether or not I ask, they don't want me helping. But the good thing is my husband wasn't mad and was happy when we came home. So thanks all for your input. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not allowing my new neighbor to use my road for access? Hello Reddit. In my country, there is a saying, if you want to live in the forest, you have to buy the forest. So we did. My and my husband's life dream was to live somewhere private, and a few years ago we finally did it. COVID made home office possible, so there was no reason to live in the city anymore. So we sold our apartment and bought a nice house which was surrounded by forest. Our closest neighbor is 400 meters away behind a grove of trees. Historically, there used to be a road going from front our house to the next house, and the road connected 2 parallel roads, both leading to the nearest town. The house next to us has been empty for 30 years, and even before that the people who lived there used the entrance on their side, as back then both roads leading to the town were gravel. So the last time the road was used as a road was even before the previous owner got the place in 60s. So nature has taken over the part that is between 2 houses, but the path is still passable with vehicles. This summer, someone bought the neighboring land with the remains of the house to build their home there, which is fine. One day I saw a lady driving through our driveway on the path leading to the next house, so I jumped on the ATV and followed and asked, why are you driving on our road? And the lady answered, well, we thought we were going to use this road because the entrance this way leads to the paved road. I pointed out that we have a sign, private road, enter only with permission. She replied, I looked it up. It used to be a public road in the 50s. I told her, not my problem. Please don't use our road. The government let everyone privatize many small roads in the 90s in my country, so they don't have an obligation to take care of those. So it is our private road. I get why she is mad. The road our driveway leads into is paved, but they have to use a gravel road, and it is 8-10 km drive into town. They thought they would use our driveway to access the better road. I told her that they couldn't drive there, and she called me an a-hole for that. We bought the place with the idea of privacy. Other people using our driveway would mean no privacy. Later I got a call from some local district office, and they told me that it is not nice to deny others access to their home. And again I explained that they have access. The officials themselves made the road private decades ago, and the official told me that this was not nice of me. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I am asking about am I the a-hole part. No need to discuss the legal part here. I know the law.